K100 Radio, we're live right now, man. Houston flood relief, man. There's a lot of people coming through, man. You feel me? A lot of people showing love. A lot of artists pulling up, man. The grind is real out here tonight, man. At Josephine Lounge, man. So many people came up. People bringing, truckloads of stuff, man. You feel me? Real quick, yo, we got the homie, man. We got people international moves out here. Josephine Lounge and K100 Radio, man. That's the camera right there, man. Real quick, tell the people who you are.
Yes, sir. My name is DPretty. I'm an international recording artist from the Democratic Republic of Congo, located in Africa. I live in Atlanta. I'm doing Afrobeat music, but this is an issue that affects everyone. Even though we have issues going on back home in the Congo, I live here in the States, so I have to support with the people of Houston. All these victims, folks who have kids without diapers, without milk, and without a place to live, without a roof in their head. We felt like this is the ultimate reason why you should perform, to give back. So absolutely. I could not miss this night tonight.
Absolutely, man. Good stuff, man. Now, and let's just be real. I mean, the Congo has had its more than fair share in the past years of I mean, let's be honest, genocide, natural disasters, just a lot of war. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
there's been a lot of things that's went on just in different countries in Africa.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, some people would say, man, I see people all the time on social media and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, Houston is bad, man, but people got it worse in Africa. I'm like, bro, at this particular moment, it doesn't really matter. People are hurting, and it is what it is.
Exactly.
But coming from somewhere like that and actually seeing that and growing up, how do you kind of like, how do you pair it up? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's that. I don't want to say it's all bad over there, because I know it's not.
Yes.
You feel me? That's just what the media tells us. You know
Sure.
what I'm saying? But there is a lot more that goes on. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of more people hurting.
Yes.
How do you kind of like be over here in the States and kind of like also just keep in mind and remember how tough it is over in your home continent?
Yeah, I'll definitely admit, first of all, you're well educated because you seem to know a lot of the issues going on in the Congo. But I can definitely attest that it's very easy to be from the Congo and be here and be in the American society and get very comfortable. I can sit at home, watch football on Sunday, the NBA, playoffs, get my popcorn and forget about the issues. But, I have a nonprofit called the Congolese Genocide Awareness, where we helping the victims of the war and providing humanitarian aid. So we've gone on mission trips there, and every time I go back, it's kind of a reality check. It kind of, when you go to hospitals and you see kids that do not have a mattress, newborns that don't have a mattress to lay on,
right.
Those things kind of hit home and make you realize how blessed you are.
Yeah.
So I really want to say that whether you're here, whether you're in the Congo, no matter where you are in the world, you definitely, if you are in the position to help, it doesn't matter how much money you have to do something. I live here, even though my mission is mainly for the Congo, but the issue that's going on in Houston affects us. These are our neighbors.
Right.
So I can't just ignore that just because there are issues going on in the Congo.
Good answer.
But, we do what we can for Houston, but at the same time, I haven't forgotten what's going on in the Congo.
Right.
We try to do our best. So I encourage everyone to help the neighbors. What happens is you don't have to think about people far away from you. All you have to focus on is the person right next to you that may need help.
Right.
So that's what we focus on.
That's right. Well, I mean, I like that, man. You feel me? It's just, sometimes I think, and I've traveled, to the other side of the world, and I've seen different things. And so, I as an American, it's like I know how spoiled we are. You know what I'm saying? Like I know how spoiled we are. You know what I'm saying? People who've never left this country really don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Until you go somewhere and you see the rest of the world, you know what I'm saying? And I haven't been to the motherland yet.
Yes.
That's one of my places that I want. I was in the Mediterranean. I went to Greece and France and all that. I didn't go where I really wanted to go. I wanted to set foot over there, but I didn't. But that's one of my goals. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And just I know. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. I mean, I definitely understand where you're coming from. The issue is that I appreciate what the black people have gone through in this country.
Yeah.
There's tremendous struggle they've gone through with the civil rights movement and what they had to go through from slavery, the civil rights movement, to Jim Crow and so on. But can you imagine that it's worse in Africa?
Right.
So that's something that folks cannot really appreciate until you travel out of the country and you see it for yourself.
Yeah.
I was from the Congo. I lived in the capital of the Congo called Kinshasa.
Okay.
I had never been in any other regions in the Congo. the first time I went back to the Congo after being here for 15 years, I went to different regions in the Congo, and things I saw were so hurtful that, you know, we're doing a mission trip. We traveling from hospital to hospital. I'm crying between the trips,
right?
Between hospital to hospital, because it's just too hard to imagine to see a newborn laying on the concrete floor,
right? Like,
you know, so you can imagine that.
Right.
It's one thing to not have milk, but it's another thing for a newborn to be laying on the concrete floor.
Right.
And I have 2 kids myself,
right.
So I imagine it could have been me, it could have been my kids and stuff. So I know folks here don't definitely. It's not their fault. They haven't seen it. But, you know, I know there's a struggle here that we can't ignore either. But the big picture is everything is tied up. The same way we treat it back home is the same way they treat us here. I think folks are surprised and seeing kind of the mistreatment and the killing that's going on here. That's the same thing that's happening to the people in the Congo. For the last 20 years, there's a genocide going in the Congo where over 6 million people have been killed because of natural resources like coltan, gold, and that sort of thing. So it's like, once that doesn't stop, what do you expect will happen here?
Right.
You know, it's all these corporate organizations are looking for their own interests, and it's at the expense of human lives. And unfortunately, this issue is underreported. It's not in the media, and it keeps going on. So one of the reasons why I'm doing music is also to bring this awareness that people are being killed for the cell phone we're using, the laptops we have, these you know, tablets you have that you recorded on. It's made with a material called coltan that conducts electricity.
Right.
You know, so these are being created in other people's expense.
Right.
But there's a way for it to be done without costing human lives. So that's what we're fighting for.
Right. But the people who are at the end of the day, when you talk about capitalism, this is a capitalistic country.
Yes.
You know, the world is ran by corporations more so than governments now, obviously at this particular point. And so they're going to always do it whichever way is financially viable for them to make the most money, which is the biggest problem with capitalism, because it doesn't care at what expense. The expense doesn't matter. The profit is all that matters. The bottom line, red or black. You know what I'm saying? And it makes the world, it seems like the world is only red and black, but it's not. It's not black or white. It's gray. There are gray areas, and there's things that you have to adjust to, and they don't care. They just care about the bottom line. So,
I definitely agree with what you're saying, but I just want to give you an example. Capitalism, for me, doesn't necessarily have to end up in. It can end up in mistreatment as far as compensation, but it doesn't have to end up in lives costing lives.
Right.
For the example is, look at China. Everybody's using China for labor. Everything comes from China. Right? It's cheap labor and it's mistreatment.
Right.
But it's tolerated by everyone. Folks are not dying because of the clothes we're wearing.
Right.
You know, so there's all these sweatshops. I'm not saying this ideal, but I'm saying there's a way to make it work where at least people can live and not have to suffer.
But that's a version of living.
Exactly.
Well, better than being killed and babies living on the concrete.
Exactly.
But that's also horrible.
It's horrible, but can we step up?
Right.
You know, can we just make it a little better? We're not asking for too much.
I guess sweatshops at that point would be a upgrade.
A big upgrade. Mass grave or sweatshops? Which one do you choose?
Basically, there's your point. All right.
Exactly.
Well, yo, it's been an interesting conversation. You feel me? Thank you for coming through and chopping it up with us over here at K100 Radio. Please give everybody all your information.
Thank you. You can find my website is at www.DPretty.com. My Instagram is DPretty.2G, and I have all of my music on all the streaming platforms, Spotify, iTunes, you name it, it's there. Apple Music and stuff. Just type in DPretty. I have 2 singles out right now. Hit me up, and another one called Stay On. So please check it out. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Good thing, man. I'm glad you came through, man. You know, I know you're gonna rip the stage. I want to hear the music I'm working, but hopefully I'll get a chance to listen to it after the fact. You feel me? I may miss everybody's show tonight because we're over here trying to show some love.
Yes.
But thank you. Heard you brung a lot of stuff.
I mean,
Tia said he brought a lot of stuff. Listen,
yes. Tia is very generous. I mean, it doesn't matter how much stuff we brought, as long as it was from the art.
Right.
The heart, and you know, all the artists here wanted to come to perform. They could have gone anywhere else, but they brought something to perform, to do what they love. So as long as it's from the heart, that's all that matters.
Absolutely. K100 Radio, we're live right now, man. You guys don't pause and go nowhere. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, of course, you know what I'm saying? But please, don't go nowhere. Josephine Lounge, we're live for the Houston Flood Release. K100 Radio.